Welcome back to Advocacy Alchemy with Professor Ross. In today's episode, we're going to explore the impartiality of justice. What does that mean? That means simply that if there's a balance, neither side gets more than the other. Gets more attention, gets more favor. We're completely balanced. Doesn't matter whether you're a celebrity or you're an everyday citizen, average person. The law applies to us all. Today we're going to dive into some real life scenarios, some videos that have happened over the years, to show that point that justice is blind and everyone can get it. All right, with that, let's jump right in. We'll start with a person that everyone nowadays knows. Let me pull them up and let's see who we got.
Everyone put their hands on their head. Everybody put their hands on their head. Everybody put their hands on their head. Come here. Do you have a firearm on you? Sir. Yo. Come here. Buddy, do you have a firearm on you? You have a firearm on you. You have a firearm on you.
Nobody has a firearm. Only person that has a firearm is the lady.
Come here.
She's the only one that had a firearm. And she threatened it. I rented this boat. The owners came on this boat. They kicked down on my door at 12 o'clock. I don't know what's going on. Ask them.
They knocked on. I don't understand what's going on. There was no fighting involved.
No fighting involved at all. I got 12 out here. Now I'm outside.
All right, so for anybody who does not know who this person is here, this is Travis Scott. He's a famous rapper, singer, in probably the last 5 or 6 years. So very famous. He's had several legal incidences that have happened. He had some people die at one of his concerts that got trampled. And I think it was maybe five to seven people were trampled at one of his concerts. So he's had some negative things, but he's highly famous. Young people really like this person. So very famous celebrity. Look, this is from June 20th, 2024. It's 12:52 a.m. He's being kicked off of a yacht or a ship. I don't know what you call it. I think it's a yacht. Kicked off a very expensive boat that he says he rented out. This is from the Miami Beach Police Department. They're wearing Axon body cam 3rd generations. You see what the officer's code is there. Let's let this video finish up, and we'll talk.
Huh? I need to get understanding of what's going on.
I rented this boat.
Okay.
These are the owners. The owner pulled up. They told me I had to go at 12 o'clock. It's 12:52.
Okay.
I was in my room.
Okay.
The captain of the boat kicked the door open.
Okay.
At 12, maybe a little bit before 12 o'clock.
Okay.
I told him it was disrespectful for him to kick the door open while I'm in the room. You said if I didn't stop walking, if I stop walking.
I gotta do this, man. Come on, bro.
Rising of photograph pending, Pamela 34, 1329 Pennsylvania Avenue. Serbia 266 Sisters.
Okay, so as we said, and as we're going to talk about today, everyone can get it. Justice is blind. Travis Scott, millionaire, multi-millionaire, I believe now, from doing concerts and things of that nature. But if not, extremely famous. That doesn't really look good to have something like that happen, to not comply with the officers, to have them have to arrest you to get you off of a boat where you're supposed to leave at 12 o'clock. But now it's 12:52. And even now it's 1. Let's jump back over. I'll show you guys. Even now, it's 1:18 a.m. All right. So with that, let's jump over and let's see what they have for information on us on this one. My search was a simple one. It was, tell me about the arrest of Travis Scott on boat. It pulled back on June 20th, 2024. Rapper Travis Scott, whose name is, I believe this is Jacquez Berman Webster II, was arrested in Miami Beach, Florida, on a charge of disorderly intoxication and trespassing. The incident occurred at the Miami Beach, Miami, marina, where Scott was reportedly causing a disturbance on a chartered yacht. So when you say the word chartered, that means rent. You use that term when you're renting a yacht. All right, the details. All right, it says the disturbance. It says authorities received a call about a disturbance on a yacht docked at the Miami Beach Marina. Upon arrival, officers found Scott yelling obscenities at the yacht's occupants from the dock. Intoxication. It says the officers noted that Scott appeared intoxicated and was uncooperative when asked to leave the area. Arrest. After multiple requests for him to leave, Scott was arrested around 1:17 a.m. and charged with misdemeanor counts of disorderly intoxication and trespassing. All right, you all remember how we go about certain things. You can easily throw this into your search, put the place as Florida law, disorderly intoxication, and trespassing, and you can pull that information back. All right, the legal proceedings. It says charges. Initially, Scott faced charges of disorderly intoxication and trespassing. However, prosecutors later reduced the charges, and he was ultimately charged with a single count of disorderly conduct. All right, he pleaded no contest to disorderly conduct charge and was sentenced to time served, effectively closing the case. All right, following the incident, body cam footage of the arrest was released, showing Scott's interaction with the police. The footage sparked discussions on social media regarding the use of force and the treatment of celebrities by law enforcement. Now, this video, they have a very long version of this out there too. It's like maybe 25 or 30 minutes long. The officers were very nice to Mr. Scott the whole time, or Mr. Webster, whichever you would use. He was treated very nicely by them. They weren't disrespectful to him or the people that were with him. They just really wanted him to come off the boat. He did not do that. All right. So with that, that's our first one. And once again, what we're talking about today is who can receive the bad things? Who can get it? Who can be punished? And the short answer is everyone can be punished, okay? Myself included. You all are listening. That's why it's always important to be respectful as you're being stopped during police interactions, because, and keep in mind in the front of your head, everyone can get it. It doesn't matter who you know. All right? Especially if you don't know the person right with you. Everyone is to be kind of. All right, our second one. Who are we going to do next? Next. All right, next we'll go here. Here we go. All right, here's our next one. All right, as you can see, let's listen to it and then we'll talk about it.
Hunter Biden surprised everyone in court yesterday in Los Angeles. The president's son pleaded guilty to 9 federal charges, admitting he failed to pay more than $1 million in taxes. Scott McFarland has more from Washington.
Just 3 months after he was convicted by a jury in Delaware of unlawfully possessing a gun,
will you testify?
Hunter Biden opted not to take his chances with the jury in a second criminal case. Trial was set to begin next week in federal court in Los Angeles, where Biden was charged with a scheme to avoid paying approximately $1.4 million in income taxes. But just before jury selection, Biden's defense team said the evidence was overwhelming, and he entered a guilty plea. In a statement, Biden said prosecutors were focused not on justice, but on dehumanizing me for actions during my addiction, and that he wouldn't put his family through more anguish, something echoed by his attorney.
Hunter decided to enter his plea to protect those he loves from unnecessary hurt and cruel humiliation.
Earlier Thursday, Biden offered to plead guilty but would not accept full responsibility for the crime, a rare legal move quickly rejected by prosecutors, leading to a guilty plea without a deal. The president's son already faces the possibility of years in prison for the gun conviction earlier this year. He'll be sentenced in Delaware in mid-November. Now he faces the prospect of additional time in the tax case. Earlier this summer, the president said this about the idea of a pardon.
I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Both of these criminal cases are federal. Nate, that means the president would have the authority to issue a commutation or a pardon.
Scott, there was also developments in the federal election interference case against former President Trump. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was in the court yesterday for this. There were some animated exchanges between the judge and between...
All right, you heard it and you saw it. Our second person, Hunter Biden. Son of the President of the United States. There they are together, hugging, as they enter the secure cars with Secret Service. Everyone can get it. Isn't that right? We saw an ultra famous celebrity first off. We saw the president's son as the second one. I just thought of something funny. If you haven't seen that movie, which one was it? Is it Civil War? Not the Marvel movie, but the new one that just recently came out. I think the whole thing kind of, well, president's son is involved in some kind of way. I think that was that movie, right? Anyways, there was a movie recently where the president's son was involved. Not this person, all right? And Hunter Biden is not in any movies, but you see that he pled guilty to tax evasion, and that's going to carry a sentence with it and some punishment. Let's see what information we have on that one. We'll go here. Let's take a look at this. My search was, tell me about the arrest of Hunter Biden and recent conviction. This says Hunter Biden, the son of U.S. President Joe Biden, has been at the center of multiple legal proceedings in recent years. Here's an overview of his arrest and recent convictions. Gun possession charges. Arrest and charges. In October 2018, Hunter Biden was arrested and charged with illegal possession of a firearm and making false statements on a federal form during the purchase of the firearm. Specifically, he was accused of lying about his drug use and the form and possessing the gun while being a drug user. A conviction on June 11, 2024, a federal jury convicted Hunter Biden on all 3 felony counts related to the gun charges. He was found guilty of making false statements and illegally possessing a firearm. Sentencing. Hunter Biden is scheduled to be sentenced on November 13th, 2024 for the gun convictions. Tax evasion charges. All right, in December 2023, Hunter Biden was indicted on 9 tax-related charges, including 3 felony counts. Prosecutors allege that he engaged in a scheme to evade paying approximately $1.4 million in federal taxes from 2016 through 2019. On September 5th, just at the beginning of this month, in a surprising move, Hunter Biden he pled guilty to all 9 charges related to tax evasion. 9? They said 3 here. Oh, some of them may have been misdemeanors, federal misdemeanors. All right, related to tax evasion just before his trial was set to begin. The sentencing date for the tax charges has not been announced yet. All right, it says these 2 cases have drawn significant attention because he is the sitting president's child and he's being convicted of a crime. Everyone can get it, Joe. It's no difference between any person out here, okay? Everyone is subject to doing what you must do and following the rules. Let's move on to number 3. I'll get it queued up.
In other news today, body cam footage from that traffic stop of a Miami Dolphins football player is out, and it turns out 3 players found themselves having run-ins with cops that day. Tyreek Hill was stopped by officers and forced to the ground. And when 2 of his teammates stopped to see what was going on, one of them also ended up in handcuffs, prompting many to ask if the cops went too far. Here's Amber Cogliano.
It's the just-released police body cam footage from the traffic stop involving Miami Dolphins superstar Tyreek Hill.
Hey, don't knock on my window like that, man.
Things go wrong from the first moments of the encounter.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Don't knock on my window. Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Knock on my window like that, though.
As one cop walks away, you can hear him tell his colleague it's Tyreek Hill. Hill is ordered out of the car, or they say they'll break the window.
Give me up and we'll break the window. Get out of the car.
He yanks Hill out of his $300,000 McLaren sports car and puts his knee on Hill's back. We showed the video to former NYPD detective David Sarney, now a professor at the John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
Okay. All right. So you see, superstar. We talked about this one when it first happened. This happened a few Sundays ago. Very first Sunday of the opening week of the NFL season. I think the stadium is right over here, guys. He's driving over here to get inside the stadium. So he's literally a few miles down the street. Right in the vicinity of the stadium. Stopped. And several of his teammates after they stopped to see what's going on with him. Let's look at the information they have on this one. All right, my search. Tell me about the arrest of Tyreek Hill outside stadium. All right, you see it's very basic. I'm missing words in here. All right, but it picks up on the syntax of what I'm asking, and it brings back an answer. On September 8th, beginning of this month again, guys, 2024, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill was detained by the Miami-Dade police near Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, prior to the Dolphins' season opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They actually won that game, and he had a touchdown for a bunch of yards. All right. Hill was pulled over for alleged careless driving and failure to wear a seatbelt. Now, the failure to wear a seatbelt, that's kind of up in the air because they can't see in the windows. They're so dark. Okay. During the traffic stop, the situation escalated, leading officers to forcibly remove Hill from his vehicle, place him face down on the ground, and handcuff him. Body camera footage released by the Miami-Dade Police Department shows the interaction between Hill and the officers. After being stopped, Hill provided his identification but rolled up his window, prompting officers to order him to lower it. When he did not comply, officers opened the door, grabbed him by the arm and head, and forced him out of the car and onto the ground. Hill was cited for careless driving and failing to wear a seatbelt, but was not arrested. He was released at the scene and proceeded to play in the game later that day. The incident has sparked discussions about the use of force by police, particularly given Hill's status. That word. Remember how we opened this today? Doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or an everyday citizen. Hill's status as a prominent black athlete, the Miami Dolphins organization expressed concern over the aggressive nature of the encounter, stating, "We are aware of this incident involving Tyreek Hill. We have spoken with Tyreek and are gathering more information. We will have no further comment at this time." All right, it says the police department has initiated an internal investigation and placed one officer on administrative duties pending the outcome. Hill has also addressed the incident, expressing his intention to focus on his performance on the field and not let the situation distract him. Key takeaway from there, whether we talk about who's right or wrong, and we put all those aside, you all know what the key thing I'm going to say. Everyone can get it. Don't you understand? All these people seem to be in the right until they're not. Let's see what we have next for you. All right, I'm sure everybody knows who this is. And once again, if you listen to hip hop music, this is another famous person. Let's watch what happens.
I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, okay?
Okay.
All right. How many drinks did you have today?
I'm cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I ain't drunk or nothing.
For a 7, that is certainly a good 7. How many drinks did you have, Mike?
I'm okay.
That's not my question, but I'm asking you how many drinks you had.
I'm not drunk. I'm okay.
Okay. Well, what did you drink?
I'm okay.
In just a few moments, I'll have you step out. But not only can I smell alcohol coming from your breath, but I can also smell marijuana coming from this car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So in just a moment, I'll be searching this car. Is there anything that I'm going to find in this car?
I have a gun registered to my name.
A gun? Okay. Yeah. Where's the gun at? It's okay. You don't have to reach for it. Where is it?
Yeah, it's in the car. You don't know who I am. Okay. Well, you're not.
I know last name Woods. From what I just saw. But that's all.
It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, it's okay. I'll wait on you.
Enlighten me on who you are. You seeing you?
No, cause you still gonna pick on me. It don't matter who I am.
Pick on you? I'm not picking on you. You're driving and I can smell alcohol off your breath.
But I'm not drunk. I can tell you that. I can promise you that I do. But yeah, I'm on your TV.
Ma'am?
I said I'm on your TV.
On my TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
So get this over with because I'm not drunk.
All right. So step out and then walk to the front of my car, okay?
I told you I hit the piece, so that's why my flowers here.
It's okay. Just go to the front of my car, okay? You start whenever you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Field sobriety.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Okay. So turn around for me.
What are we doing?
Turn around for me.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm
under
gonna take
arrest.
this. I'm gonna take this.
That doesn't change anything. You still are going to be arrested.
For what?
Okay.
You don't have any proof on me.
No, ma'am, I do. Okay.
What's your proof?
So the evaluations that we do, they check your, it checks all kinds of things, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what determines if you were DUI. And now, whether you do the breath test or not, now that is voluntary. You can still, if you wish to do it, we will go ahead
did the
and
other
proceed.
test determine that I'm drunk?
Ma'am?
Did the test determine it?
Yes, ma'am. The evaluations are stating that you are over the legal limit to be driving right now.
Where the proof at? I just passed everything. I did everything you told me.
It's to you. You may think that you passed, okay? But I'm not going to bicker with you right now. So, are you wanting to do the breathalyzer?
What's that gonna change?
Nothing, ma'am.
So I'm gonna go to jail either way.
As of right now, yes, ma'am. All right. Turn around for me.
Can you let me pee on the side of the road?
No, ma'am. We'll get to the jail in just a moment, okay?
Oh, it's close. Oh my God. I don't want to go to jail. I've never been to jail.
You've never been to jail? I've never been to Gwinnett County Jail?
I went 30 minutes. Do I get out the jail fast?
That is on them. I don't know their process. I have never worked there.
Oh my God. Y'all doing the most.
We're heading radio 295, one female.
Okay, as you see, and as I said, famous person. Let's take a look and see what they have to say about that one. Tell me about the arrest of Glorilla for DWI. It says rapper Glorilla, born Gloria Hallelujah Woods, was arrested on April 16th, 2024, once again, in Swanee, Georgia. I had a friend who went to Swanee College. I had several who went to Swanee College, actually. On multiple charges, including driving under the influence, DUI, possessing an open alcoholic beverage container, and failure to obey a traffic control device. All right. Around 4 a.m., officers observed Glorilla making an illegal U-turn at a red light. What? Upon stopping her vehicle, they detected the smell of marijuana and alcohol. She admitted to drinking, but declined to specify the amount and refused to take a breathalyzer test. All right. And just so you know, that video is out there too, and it is it's longer than what we have here. Okay. All right. And let's see. During field sobriety tests, she exhibited signs of impairment and experienced a wardrobe malfunction, which the officer pointed out to her. Glorilla was booked into the Gwinnett County Jail and released on bond a few hours later. Despite the arrest, she remained active on social media, sharing content related to her music. The incident has prompted discussions among fans and media outlets, with some criticizing her actions and others expressing concern over the publicizing of her wardrobe malfunction. As of now, Glorilla has not publicly addressed the arrest. You already know what I want to say about that. That whole incident is more proof of what our topic is today. That justice is blind, and everyone can potentially get everything that justice has for them. If you break the rules, you may have to pay the price. We have another. We got two more. 3 more. All right, next we have the mayor of New York. Let's listen.
There are calls for the mayor to resign after he was indicted by the federal government today on corruption and bribery charges. The indictments were revealed this morning, just hours after a pre-dawn raid on the mayor's mansion. Les Trent with more on the chaos.
It's an only in New York moment as hecklers try to shout down Mayor Eric Adams after his bribery indictment by a federal grand jury. He appeared outside Gracie Mansion, surrounded by his closest allies.
I will continue to do the job for 8.3 million New Yorkers that I was elected to do.
The 92-year-old civil rights leader, Hazel Dukes, gave the hecklers a piece of her mind, and then some.
Would you be quiet? Would you shut up?
And as the embattled mayor turned to leave, he was bombarded with demands to step down.
Resign! 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 Resign!
The U.S. Attorney in Manhattan, Damian Williams, announced the historic indictment today.
Mayor Adams engaged in a long-running conspiracy in which he solicited and knowingly accepted illegal campaign contributions from foreign donors and corporations.
According to the 57-page indictment, Adams accepted free travel and business class upgrades and other freebies from the government of Turkey. The indictment says the freebies included stays at the $3,000 a night Bentley suite at the St. Regis Hotel in Istanbul. In exchange, Adams is accused of arranging for the Turkish consulate building in Manhattan to open without a fire inspection, despite being unfit for occupation.
This is very historic because this is the first time a sitting mayor of the city of New York has ever been indicted.
Adams denies the charges. In 2020, he was dubbed Mayor Swagger, lampooned Saturday night. He owns the keys to the city. Both so-called boys facing federal charges.
The mayor has not yet been scheduled for next week.
Oh, it should have been at the end because I'm not going to play it today. I'll tell you what. And I call him that because I remember when it first came out, way back when, with, Biggie Smalls and Tupac. But, interesting. Justice is blind. Everyone can get it. Let's move into our next one. Well, actually, no. Let me read to you, I guess, what's going on with that one, because truly, I wouldn't know much about that. I'm not living in New York and haven't been back to New York in years. But it's one of the biggest cities we have in the nation. I think it is the biggest city we have in the nation. Interesting. It says here, I want you to read the full indictment to me. All right, read the full indictment against New York Mayor Eric Adams. All right, it says the New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on federal charges, including bribery, wire fraud, campaign finance violations. The indictment alleges that Adams accepted over $100,000 in luxury gifts and solicited illegal campaign contributions from the Turkish nationals in exchange for political favors, such as facilitating the opening of a Turkish consulate building without proper inspections, on September 27th, 2024. That's yesterday, guys. Adams pleaded not guilty to the charges during his arraignment in Manhattan federal court. He was released without bail under the condition that he avoid contact with witnesses and individuals mentioned in the indictment. The indictment marks the first time a sitting, means they're in the position right now. A New York City mayor has faced federal criminal charges. If convicted on all counts, he could face up to 45 years in prison. Mayor Adams maintains his innocence and indicated he plans to fight the allegations while continuing his duties as mayor. His lawyer, Alex Spiro, has stated that the defense intends to file a motion to dismiss the charges, arguing that the case is politically motivated. All right. They even say this case has political implications. Some officials calling for Adams' resignation. Governor Kathy Hochul is currently reviewing her options regarding the potential removal from office. Interesting. Everyone is subject to the long arm of the law. Let's move into our next one. Let's see, we have one that probably everyone, no matter what your age is, anything less than 70 years old, has grown up knowing of and growing up with this person's work. Let's hear what they have to say.
Let's go to John Northcott for the latest. So, John, what are prosecutors saying today?
Yeah, indeed, Andrew. And it is that Canadian connection that this whole case really turns on. This Cosby, 78 years old, worth hundreds of millions of dollars, revered by fans right around the world. But in recent years, he has been the subject of allegations from over 30 individual women who say, and a very similar modus operandi here, alcohol and some kind of drug administered, leaving them in a position where they could not fight back against his sexual advances. A woman who made those similar allegations, a Canadian woman down at Temple University, Andrea Constad, she was there working on the Temple basketball program more than a decade ago, in which she said in a civil suit that has already been filed, a similar allegation in terms of what happened to her as what happened to all those other women. Here are Pennsylvania prosecutors. Have a listen.
On the evening in question, Mr. Cosby urged her to take pills that he provided to her and to drink wine, the effect of which rendered her unable to move, respond to his advances, and he committed aggravated indecent assault upon her.
Aggravated indecent assault. This is a felony in the United States. Cosby has yet to appear yet. He, of course, knows they are looking for him. They expect him to turn himself into authorities later today. They will advise us of that as the day goes forward. Much of this, though, they say, impinging on the fact that there was this civil lawsuit by the Canadian woman. As part of that, there were a series of other files from previous lawsuits that were unsealed. And it is that similarity, the drugging and the alcohol, that they say prosecutors in this case made them move. Also moved because the statute of limitations that had been expired in so many of these other cases could expire in the next little while, and they had to move and they had to act fast. Andrew?
And John, what's been the reaction from the alleged victim?
Well, she has come forward, and it is rare, of course, for a person in this situation to come forward, but so many other women have. She has joined that along with that, and her lawyer reacting to the fact that the charges have been laid by police in Pennsylvania. Here is what her lawyer is saying. On behalf of our client, Andrea Constad, we wish to express our appreciation to the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. They go on to say, the county detectives and the Cheltenham Police Department for the consideration and courtesy they have shown Andrea during this difficult time. With the utmost confidence in the prosecution team, who have impressed us with their professionalism in this matter. And they go on to say it is now being pursued by the criminal justice system, and we will not comment further. It is worth noting that at one point she tweeted this out in late December. This is "consent is" on an armband. "Tell someone" is a tattoo on her arm. This, again, joining this incredible number of women who've come forward to lay these extremely similar allegations against who was an entertainment icon. Andrew?
All right, John, thank you.
Okay.
Even legends can fall. Justice is blind. Let's see what information I have pulled back on this one. Got some pictures on this one. All right, the search was Bill Cosby arrest and trial. See, it pulls back some of the images. That report was from years ago, guys. I believe that was maybe 16. Very, very long ago. All right. Bill Cosby, once celebrated comedian and actor, faced significant legal challenges in recent years. Here's an overview of his arrest and trial. Arrest. On December 30, 2015, Cosby was arrested in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, on charges of aggravated indecent assault. The charges stem from a 2004 incident involving Andrea Constand, a former Temple University employee. "11 years before." Trial. First trial, 2017. The trial began on June 5th, 2017 at the Montgomery County Courthouse in Norristown, Pennsylvania. After 6 days of deliberation, the jury was unable to reach a verdict, resulting in a mistrial. Retrial, 2018. A retrial commenced on April 9th, 2018. On April 26, 2018, the jury found Cosby guilty on 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. On September 25, 2018, Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in state prison. He was also classified as a sexually violent predator, requiring lifetime registration as a sex offender. Release. On June 30, 2021, Cosby's conviction was overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court due to a procedural issue. He was released from prison the same day. We got more. Next page. All right. Aftermath. Following his release, Cosby faced additional legal proceedings, including civil lawsuits. In June 2022, a civil jury found him liable for sexually assaulting Judy Huff in 1975. 1975. Oh my gosh. Awarding her $500,000 in damages. When you see numbers like that from a person that's thought to be wealthy, someone who doesn't have money that's actively bringing in new money or ideas that are bringing in new money, 500,000 is a bunch. That's a nice reward. That's a nice set of damages. Because who knows how much he's worth now? They say he's worth hundreds of millions, but that's just what people say. Most of these people aren't worth as much as is quoted. And net worth doesn't mean liquid worth or liquid value. And when you say liquid, that means being able in things that are easily transferred. Cash, some stocks and bonds, And stocks and bonds is really not the same as cash. But cash is the big one. Diamonds, gold, stuff like that. They can be given over right now. All right. One more. Let's run it back and we'll do one last one, guys. Or maybe a couple more. Well, let's see what I have here. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh. Of course, there's a couple more, guys. Couple more. Next, we're going to do Harvey Weinstein. Let's see if we can find him. Well, I might not have Mr. Weinstein's. There we go. All right, I found him. All right, let's jump into this one.
It's a scene many of his accusers never thought they'd see. Harvey Weinstein, a man used to walking red carpets, now in handcuffs, doing a perp walk.
To lure young women into situations where he was able to violate them sexually.
His smile vanished in court as he was formally charged with 2 counts of rape and 1 of a criminal sexual act. It's been 7 months since his behavior, long rumored in the industry, became national headlines. Lucia Evans was one of the first to tell her story. Like so many others, she says Weinstein used his powerful position in the entertainment world to lure her to a meeting, where she says he forced her to perform oral sex. That alleged 2004 encounter led to one of today's charges. The 2 rape charges date to 2013. The accuser in that case has yet to tell her story publicly. Weinstein's lawyer says the disgraced movie mogul will plead not guilty. He says they'll fight to get the charges dismissed, that they're not supported by the facts, and that all of his clients' sexual encounters were consensual.
Mr. Weinstein did not invent the casting couch in Hollywood, and to the extent that there is bad behavior in that industry, that is not what this is about. Bad behavior is not on trial in this case.
Benjamin Braffman has represented controversial clients before. In 2011, he got rape charges dismissed against French politician Dominique Strauss-Kahn after questioning the accuser's credibility. Here, too, he says the women's stories, when cross-examined in front of a jury, won't hold up.
Assuming we get 12 fair people who are not consumed by the movement that seems to have overtaken this case.
Harvey, are you sorry?
The man who once ruled Hollywood must now wear a tracking monitor and is the subject of at least 2 more investigations. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, New York.
More than 70 women have come forward with allegations against Harvey Weinstein, ranging from rape to sexual harassment. And that long list includes some big names in Hollywood: Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie, Kate Beckinsale, Ashley Judd, Salma Hayek. But one of his first accusers was actor Rose McGowan. And today, she joined a chorus of women reacting to his arrest. And as Tashana Reed shows us, they had a lot to say.
I mean, this man had hunting grounds.
Rose McGowan alleges Harvey Weinstein raped her. She says she never thought she'd see him in handcuffs.
Tomorrow will be hard again. But today we can have a moment for all of us. This is for all of us who've been told we are nothing.
Reaction.
Stop there. But as you see, these ritual justice is blind. Eventually, the long reach of justice each everyone, me, you, them, doesn't matter. Justice is blind. Everyone can get it. Let's look at the information we had pulled up on this one. Harvey Weinstein, New York trial, key moments. Harvey Weinstein, once a prominent Hollywood producer, has faced multiple legal challenges over the past few years. Here's an overview of his arrest and trial history. Initial arrest and New York trial. All right. Arrest. May 25th, 2018. Weinstein turned himself in to the New York authorities, facing charges of rape, criminal sex act, and sexual misconduct. The trial. The trial began in June 2020. On February 24th of 2020, Weinstein was convicted of third-degree rape and a first-degree criminal sex act. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison on March 11th of 2020. Los Angeles trial. All right. In January of 2020, Weinstein was charged on multiple counts of sexual assault in Los Angeles stemming from incidents in 2013. The trial and verdict. The Los Angeles trial commenced on October 2022. On December 19th, 2022, Weinstein was found guilty on 3 counts of rape and sexual assault. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison on February 23rd, 2023. All right, notice the recent developments. Overturned conviction. In April 2024, New York's highest court overturned Weinstein's 2020 conviction, citing that the trial judge had improperly allowed testimony from accusers not directly related to the charges. New charges. On September 12th, 2024, Weinstein was indicted on additional charges in New York, including a new count of criminal sexual act in the first degree related to an alleged 2006 incident. All right. Key point is, though that case in New York was overturned, remember he has another guilty plea out of California. All right, and it finishes up here. Recent developments, new charges, retrial. A retrial in New York is scheduled for November 2024, so that's a couple months from now, where Weinstein will face the new charge along with the original ones. Throughout these legal proceedings, Weinstein has maintained his innocence. The cases have had a significant impact, highlighting issues of sexual misconduct in the entertainment industry and contributing to the broader Me Too movement. All right. Let's see. Now with that, we have one more. This is the one from my childhood, because I believe I was still in probably elementary school when this happened, 1994. So upper elementary school, I guess you say, something like that. Let's take a look at I don't think I have my stuff queued up for. There we go.
I'm going to have to interrupt this call. I understand we're going to go to a live picture in Los Angeles. Is that correct? Okay. This is Interstate 5, and this is courtesy of KCALR, one of our LA affiliates. Police believe that O.J. Simpson is in that car. Now they're telling me that they believe that this vehicle is registered to Al Cowlings, one of O.J.'s oldest friends, a teammate at Southern Cal. And they believe that Al Cowling, who's the other person they're looking for, who was with O.J. earlier today, they believe, again, they believe that this is the car. We do not know this is the car. They're going south through Orange County, but nobody is pulling this car over. And we could only guess as to why not.
Right, I guess they're just being
careful. They may fear that there are arms in that car. They may fear that Simpson may harm himself. Now, police radio is saying that Simpson has a gun at his head. Reuters is reporting that the police tracked O.J. Simpson through his cellular phone.
Look at all the cars on this next bridge, man.
That's a helicopter reporting, talking to KCAL, saying, look at all those cars on that bridge looking down. This is living drama. There's nothing else you can say, but We're going to stay with it. California Highway Patrol has now confirmed to CNN that it is definitely Al Cowling's vehicle. And they are almost certain that O.J. is in the passenger seat. The cars on the top of the screen heading east on that freeway are just slowing down to look and get a glimpse of one of the icons of American sports history, O.J. Simpson, on this tragic June day. This is Larry King as we stay atop this scene. Jim Hill, famed sportscaster in Los Angeles, an old friend, a former athlete, old friend of O.J. Simpson, is going on radio in Los Angeles.
Still going westbound 91, just
O.J.
approaching the
Simpson
710 freeway.
to turn himself in. The last thing Jim said was, O.J., you were a man, you are a man, be a man, turn yourself in. Earlier today, Robert Shapiro had arranged for O.J. to turn himself in. Doctors were in attendance. They were all going to go together in a car because they were worried about suicide. When they went downstairs from a conference room in O.J.'s house, he was gone. They're going to go right toward the Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Brentwood areas where O.J. lives and where the two people killed also lived.
It is an amazing sight. Along the right-hand shoulder, people have pulled over, many of them carrying signs such as signs reading things like "Save the Juice," "Go O.J." People are literally cheering him on as he travels northbound on the 405, and we can only assume that he plans to get off at Sunset and go towards perhaps his home.
He's on the off-ramp now, coming up the off-ramp at Sunset.
That's right.
Looks like he's in the left lane now.
Yeah.
Making a left turn. The intersection is free, and he's clear, and now making his left turn westbound.
Look at all those people, guys.
And he is pulling in to the driveway.
Coming around.
Someone is going to the door right now, Eric.
Okay, we're pulling up. Let me tell you what I can see. We've just turned the corner. It's total chaos here. Motorcycles, black and whites, people running around, officers getting out of their cars with their batons.
We have found him. The door is opening, and let's see what happens now. We'll watch with you. This is the driver's side of the vehicle.
Okay, someone just got out of the vehicle, approaching the front door, dressed in black, and entered. Looks like they entered the front of the house there. Possibly O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson. You heard? Did you see all those people out there running to see O.J. Simpson? Go Juice, go. Save the juice. Signs. There was no social media at that time, guys. We're talking about like 1994 or 1993 when this happened. This is during that era. There were no cell phones as we know them now. For all my young people out there, people that were anyone born in the year 2000 or before, even 1995, the phones that we had at that point in time were brick phones. Type brick phone into Google search and see what it pulls back. That's what kind of phones we had, and phones that were in backpacks. And notice they said that the way they found him was track him through his cell phone even back then. So if the police could track cell phones then, you should know everything can be tracked now, everyone. Let's read what it says about O.J. Simpson. The juice. All right. It says, my search was O.J. Simpson, slow chase, and arrest and trial. Why I said slow chase is because I remember it being a very slow chase back when I was a kid watching it on TV. I think the chase lasted maybe an hour. They drove around going lower than the speed limit on the highway, People on the other side were stopping. It was on all the radio stations, and it was on the news, every news station. All right, it says O.J. Simpson, a former NFL star and actor, and he was very much that. He broke all kind of records in the NFL. He retired before he was used all the way up. He went in and he had an acting career in the 80s. He was a big-time actor, too. He was in everything. He was the it guy. All right, it says became the center of national attention in 1994 following the murders of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman. Slow speed chase and arrest. On June 17th, 1994, after being indicted for the murders, Simpson failed to surrender to the Los Angeles Police Department. Instead, he and his friend Al Cowlings led police on a slow-speed chase through Los Angeles in a white Ford Bronco. That's why Ford Broncos are sort of a meme even now. The pursuit was broadcast live, captivating millions of viewers. The chase ended at Simpson's Brentwood estate, where he surrendered after a brief standoff. Now I'll say just how that slow chase was televised. That was the first time I ever seen a trial on TV every single day. They may have done it before that, but I wasn't aware. And if somebody has seen a trial that happened every single day on TV, let me know. Now, there may have been Senate hearings like the McCarthy hearings that were on the radio every day or on black and white TV. But in the near times, this is the first time they had some trials that were on every single day, all day. This made the channel Court TV. There was no channel like that beforehand. This made the career of several famous legal commentators. They're still out now. All right, let's talk about the trial. It says Simpson's trial began on January 24th, 1995 and lasted approximately 9 months, a 9-month trial, garnering extensive media coverage. The prosecution presented evidence, including DNA samples and the infamous black leather gloves. If it don't fit, you must acquit. The defense, led by attorney Johnny Cochran, challenged the prosecution's evidence and highlighted the alleged misconduct of the LAPD. On October 3rd, 1995, the jury acquitted Simpson of both murder charges. Acquittal means they found him not guilty. The aftermath. All right, despite the acquittal, public opinion remained divided. In 1997, a civil court found Simpson liable for the wrongful deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman, awarding their families $33.5 million in damages. All right. And in 2008, he was convicted of armed robbery and kidnapping in an unrelated case and was sentenced to 33 years in prison. Why do you have to do 33s here? 33 years in prison, $33.5 million in damages. That's crazy. All right, he was released on parole in 2017. So he did about 9 years in prison. He passed away on April 10th, 2024, this year again, guys, at the age of 76 after battling prostate cancer. All right. Justice is blind. Everybody can get it. Even me, even you, even them. And when I say them, the ultra powerful, the celebrities, the superstars, the rich and famous, the quiet and wealthy. Everyone can get it. Of course, us regular people can get it. We already know that. But today's lecture, I just wanted to highlight that you always hear about and you see images of statues that have a blindfold on, holding a sword and holding a scale in another hand. That all has a meaning. That when you walk through those doors and enter those courtrooms, justice falls on all. Everyone has a fair opportunity. Punishment might be swift. Punishment might be sharp. Justice. If you made it this far in the video, give me a like. Watch some of the other videos.